What common product has a feature you're not sure everyone is aware of? Baking soda is really good at removing baked-on grease and soap scum. If you spill something in the oven and it's creating a bunch of smoke, but you still need to use the oven to finish the task, you can douse the spill in baking soda and it will stop it from smoking so you can finish cooking. Little for your information for anyone still reading this, cooking baking soda converts it from a weak base, sodium bicarbonate, to a rather stronger one, sodium carbonate, so be careful when doing the cleanup. It's much more caustic in this form. Great for making pretzels though. You can use baking soda to stop fire. Also really good at removing blood stains on fabrics. Hydrogen peroxide. Spotted on the blood, wash as normal. Additionally, use cold water, not warm. Warm or hot water cooks and denatures the proteins in the blood, which sets it into the fabric. Cold or cool water does not, and that enables it to be rinsed out easily. Use hydrogen peroxide on whatever remains. Source: am former uterus owner, up until my hysterectomy 5-ish years ago. Do you ever refer to yourself as uterless? Nope. But my husband does like to shock people, especially folks who don't know about it yet, by casually referring to it as me getting fixed, or spayed, laughing my butt off. Makes the folks who ask so now that you're married, when are you two going to settle down and actually have kids get all wide-eyed and has really freaked a couple people out. Which is great, 'cause that's a really personal question and people get crazy invasive with it sometimes. The crap some people say is absolutely unreal. I've had several people even tell me that my hysterectomy, or sometimes my mastectomy, both for medical reasons, makes me not a woman anymore. Every time one of my friends has a hysterectomy, I refer to us as hyster sisters because I had one 6 or 7 years ago as well. Felt so good to come home from surgery and throw all my pads and tampons away. I knew I was having mine and stopped buying them, and didn't know anyone I was close enough to give them to, so I didn't waste many, maybe 3 or 4 of each. Still felt amazing. I use it as a test to see if I need to hazmat up. I'm a janitor at Walmart. Ho bubbles up like mad on blood, and almost nothing else. Add vinegar, and you have a volcano. When you are writing in Microsoft Word or Outlook and accidentally leave caps lock on, select the text and press Shift F3. It will change the text between upper and lower case, and there's a third option to make the first letter of each word uppercase too. Always seems to blow people's minds when I tell them. That's awesome. I'll have to give this a try. Take my award and don't go near my children, sir. The other one along with this I love to tell people about is Windows key, plus, period, which opens an emoji keyboard on your PC. Why on the earth are you still on Earth? For those who are bad at shortcuts, newer versions of Microsoft Word also has a little button up by the font/size selectors that does this. It looks like AA with a down arrow, and it allows you to toggle between uppercase, lowercase, capitalize all first letters, and some others. You can use a dry erase marker to remove permanent marker on an erasable surface. I got a week's worth of detention for writing my name in permanent marker, accidentally, on the whiteboard in 7th grade. We had to write our names and where we were going for study hall periods. Granted, I wrote it so it took up the whole board. So that's kind of deserving whether it's erasable or not. I learned about the trick a few years later. Oh well. Edit. Laughing out loud, some of y'all are way more pressed about this punishment than I was. Detention never killed anyone, I just did my homework. It wasn't the first or last detention I ever got. I didn't hate school and I never wrote my name on the entirety of a wall-sized whiteboard again. Permanent marker or not. Lesson learned. Also, hand sanitizer. Apply hand sanitizer to the permanent marker, wipe with a cloth. I remember doing this in 7th grade, it always blew people's minds. Reddit has a hide feature. It also has a save feature, but for some reason I still see people commenting for later all the time. Commenting for later. Save. Did I do it right? No, it's save. I declare save. I have successfully done this dozens of times, but only by accident. Task failed successfully. Might be obvious, but most times someone's over my shoulder on my computer, they seem surprised. In most browsers, if you want to Google some text from a web page, you can highlight it and drag it up to the tabs area. No need to copy and paste or right-click. Gasoline will cut through most grease and glue. It will almost instantly dissolve duct tape adhesive. Liquid dish detergent is really good for taking oily/greasy stains out of clothes, the kind that are still there even after a cycle through the washer. They're a bit at the end of a stapler you can reverse so the staples bend out instead of in, for a less permanent stapling that is easier to remove by hand. With many car key remotes, you can make all the windows go down at once by pushing the unlock button 3 times. With many car key remotes, you can make all the windows go down at once by pushing the unlock button 3 times. Learned this the hard way, sat on my keys, all my windows and sunroof opened. In the middle of a snowstorm. Is there a reason cars just have a expose my vehicle to the elements hack? Blisteringly hot day, and the car has been sealed up for hours in the sun. Nice way to open all the windows and cool off the car. Okay, I guess that's fair. It's Canadian winter here, so I forget what hot weather is like. For those of us that live in warmer climates, during the summer it routinely hits 100 F during the summer. My car is parked in direct sunlight from the time I get to work until the time I leave. I can literally bake cookies in my car in the summer. Being able to let the windows down from a distance like that would be a godsend. I unfortunately have black car in Texas, and the average temperature of my car in the summer sun is about 115 F. I am so excited to see if my car has this feature. Haha, that is a great way to learn. Great tips. I might add, Gojo hand cleaner, the white gelatinous goop mechanics use, is a great for removing oily/greasy stains from clothes. Rub it in with a retired toothbrush before you toss it in the washer. I found it works a little better than dish soap. Also, sometime in the 80s, car manufacturers started putting a little arrow near the fuel gauge that points to the side of the car that has the gas cap on. So if it's a rental and you stop for gas, make sure that arrow is pointing at the pump, because that's the side you add gas on. On our car remote it's press and hold unlock to lower all windows. Great, until I sat on the key in the house whilst it was raining outside. It still smells a bit musty months later. Regarding your second bullet, there are plenty of safer solvents that you should try first before going to a hydrocarbon-based solvent. Isopropyl alcohol will dissolve most adhesives, and grease is best dealt with using a degreaser, preferably citrus-based for ease of disposal. Also, commercial gasoline has a crap load of garbage in it that will leave a residue on anything you clean with it. He wasn't suggesting to use it as a solvent, he was warning you not to use it on your duct-taped hostages. Yes, only use a dilute Dawn dish soap and water mixture to wash down your hostages. Gasoline also kind of dissolves styrofoam. Makes a napalm-like material. So, one time I tried to use a styrofoam plate as a nail polish palette and it completely dissolved the plate. I was working with acetone and using a styrofoam plate to hold materials, setting up a lab for some kids, and I found out the hard way that acetone dissolves styrofoam. I'm just glad I didn't have any open flames going. It wasn't my best moment. That's 'cause that's 2/3 components of street-grade napalm. The third is a high sugar or fructose source, like Coca-Cola, or other sodas. Source: apparently Tom Clancy's The Division gives out recipes like fracking candy on their maps. The cleaners had the ingredient list spray painted in their base next to their primary production site. I still think marking the text and going Ctrl+C+T+V+, release Control plus Enter is similarly fast. Depends on how fast you are on the keyboard versus the mouse. I just highlight, then right-click, search Google. You can mute many microwaves. Edit: to mute your microwave, Google the model on how to mute. Not all microwaves mute, but many do. Good luck. I'm going to have to figure this out so it can save my marriage. The extra 1 second left on the microwave to avoid the beeps has caused a significant number of arguments, laughing my butt off. Okay, it's not actually a big deal, but my partner does hate the beeping. Mute the microwave is now on my to-do list for tomorrow. Thanks. Holy shot, I need to figure this one out. I always set it for more time than I need so I can open it before it runs out of time, otherwise, beep. And there's nothing you can do until the excruciatingly long beeps. Mine is like this, except you have to hit stop on the microwave to get it to stop. If I open the door, it just keeps on beeping. The long beeps are so annoying. Have you tried dancing? But how? Every time this question goes up, someone posts that microwaves can be muted, and every time it turns out that there are still plenty of microwaves, not just old ones, where you cannot mute them. Best bet to find out is Googling your microwave manufacturer to see how they handle muting, and to adjust your expectations. Nothing worse than being freshly disappointed with your microwave because it can't do something you only just learned others can. Smiley face. Great. Now, to mute the washer and dryer? My dryer doesn't beep, just stops. Washer does a little song, so I always sing along and do a little dance. Most ceiling fans have a switch to reverse direction of the blades. Set to clockwise at low speed in winter for an updraft that redistributes warmed air at the ceiling downward, and then switch to counterclockwise at higher speed in summer to create a cooling downdraft. If you're going to use that switch, before you turn the fan back on, make sure you dust the blades. You will get a nice snowfall of dust on your head and in your eyes otherwise. If you forget to wipe your blades before reversing them, your ceiling fan will become self-cleaning in the least helpful way possible. Is the same way that wet dogs are self-drying? Just to be clear/give more info, this won't make your fans any more efficient, indeed less so, but it can make it more pleasant to have a fan running in winter. So if your feet are cold but you hate sitting under a draft, reverse your fans. Otherwise, leave them as is because they work best like that anyway. YouTube hotkeys. K. Toggles pause/play on the video no matter where you last clicked on the page, except the URL bar. The buttons to either side of it, J and L, skip forward or back by 10 seconds. The arrow keys skip forward and back by 5 seconds. The number keys skip you to whichever tenth of the video they correspond to, 0 to go to the start. M is mute, and C toggles the captions. Also, and. Go back and forward by 1 frame. F for full screen. T for theater mode. YouTube shows you a list of shortcuts when you press Shift, plus, hash, on my German layout, and hash alone focuses the search bar. The last two don't seem to work in Firefox. Shift, plus, hash opens the search function in Firefox. Web link. Also comma and period go back and forward by 1 frame. All the times I've spent minutes trying to pause at an exact moment to see one of those single frame jokes, bruh. Was confused for a second because I remember them as less than and greater than. When Amazon asks can you answer this person's question about a product you have purchased, answering is optional. Please, stop with all the IDK, bought for a friend etc. replies. Also, you aren't obligated to leave a review, and in fact you shouldn't if you haven't even used the product yet. So effing sick of seeing reviews like I haven't opened the package but it looks like what I needed. 3/5 stars. Yesterday I saw on the PS5 controller Amazon page. This controller looks nice but I still can't find a PS5 to buy. 1/5 stars. Also, review the actual product, not the circumstances in which you received it. If I want to know about a product, I don't care about your isolated instance of a delayed shipment or a banged up box. Yeah, this is partially Amazon's fault for making it look like you got a DM on something. If you hold down the space bar on your iPhone, it allows you to move the cursor anywhere in the text. Android does this as well. Give or take your keyboard program. Edit. I use an LG phone, and their default text input comes with the function. Mileage may vary based on phone brand and age. Or if your iPhone has 3D touch, you can press hard anywhere on the keyboard to do the same thing. Why has Apple removed this incredibly useful feature on recent phones? Probably for the reason stated by the question, many people didn't know about it. There are push-in tabs on most aluminum foil and plastic wrap boxes to keep the roll from falling out. These are a trap. Just like the push tabs on macaroni and cheese boxes. You'll mush the box into a torn, decrepit, useless mess before you ever punch out that little triangle into usable form. Most electric toothbrushes have a built-in 2-minute timer. Because that's how long you're meant to brush your teeth. For your health. Mine does a little pause pulse at 30, 60, and 90 seconds to remind you change quadrants in your mouth. At 120 seconds it pulses 4 times quickly to let you know you're done. I'm 37 and this is the most I've learned about brushing my teeth the entire time, from the instruction pamphlet in the box. I have a Sonicare and it does that, although at 2 minutes it just shuts off without warning, plus the vibration changes tone if you push too hard. It's honestly amazing. Cannot wait to be accused of astroturfing though. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.